welcome back to WsCube. So today onwards we will be starting with a complete new topic. We will be discussing about the database. We will be discussing what database we will be going to start today. We will be discussing how a database is created, how it is connected, and how a table is created inside a database. So first of all, talking about this database, I'm saying this word database again and again. So first of all, let's understand what database is. So database is nothing, it is an organized collection of data which can be accessed, which can be managed easily by the user. You can organize the data inside the database with the help of rows, columns. That means basically a table. You can create a table which has rows, columns, indexes, right? So you can organize the data in the form of tabular form. The main purpose of the database is to operate on a large amount of data, to retrieve information, to add information, to work on it, to access it, to manage it. So that is the basically main use of database over here.
Before that, if you want to become a successful data analyst and if you want to learn from our experts live, then you can call on the given number or you can fill the form that is provided in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free.
What database we are going to learn today? We'll be talking about one of these databases, that is SQLite. So in this whole module, we will be learning about SQLite. It's a type of a database which is completely compatible with the Python. So SQLite is a lightweight and reliable database which allows us to use it without any installation processes. Now, without any installation processes means, yes, you don't have to install it, you don't have to install any software for it. It is already there in our Python. Our Python provides us with a library which will allow us to use SQLite. For that, all we need to do is we need to use the keyword import SQLite 3, and it will allow us to use all the properties. It will allow us to use all the functions inside the SQLite, and we can create a database with the help of that. So in this session, we will be learning how inside the Python we can create a database. We can connect our database with a Python file. We can operate on it. How we can create a table inside it. That part will be covered in our today's session. So let's get started. Let's have a look on how it can be done. So here guys, already I have created one folder with me, that's SQLite. Here I'll be creating a new file. It will be a Python file. Right now it's a .py file. Okay. So we will be working on a .py file, that means a Python file, with the help of which we will be creating a database. So here, let's say I'll be taking example that I'm creating it for a school. That in a school we have student marks of different subjects. So yes, I'll be creating it for storing marks of 3 different subjects, right? So let's have a look on how it can be done. So I'll be calling it as report.py. So as soon as I create it over here. So guys, what are we going to do over here is basically, first of all, we will import SQLite. So I'll be writing import SQLite 3. Right, after importing, what we need to do, we need to build a connection over here. We need to connect this file with a new file that will have our database. Okay, so what I'll be doing, I'll be creating a variable called as connection. Connection is equals to SQLite3.connect. So I need to create a connection over here. That's why I'll be writing connect over here. And what should be the name of the file, that we need to mention over here. So whatever database file we want to create over here, we will be mentioning its name. So I'll be writing student data. Okay, so student data is the name of my file. Also, one more thing, that the extension over here it should be db. So student data.db. db over here is telling us that it is a database file over here. Okay, it shouldn't be a py file, it shouldn't be a txt file, but it should be a .db file. After this, I'm going to create a variable called as cur. And here I'll be creating my cursor. I'll be starting a cursor. Cursor is like a pointer when we are starting to work in a file, when we want to create tables over there, when we want to insert something, update something, delete something. We need a cursor, right? When we do file handling, in file handling, when we write f is equals to open demo.txt in any mode, reading, append, or writing mode, right? So there, that f is a file pointer, right? Similarly, here also cursor is a pointer that will allow us to work in a file. So cursor is equals to connection dot cursor. So I have created a cursor over here. Now what I need to do, we'll be creating a variable, let's say student, and inside it I'll be creating my table. So for creating a table, I'll be writing triple quotations. First of all, why triple quotations? Because it is going to be a huge line, and if I want to press enter in between, so that's why I can use triple quotations over here. And I'll be writing create table, and then we will be naming this table, that which table we want to create, what should be the name of our table. So let's say I'll be calling it as students. Okay, this because it will keep all the data of the students who are there inside the school. So I'll be calling it as a students. In the next line, I'll be opening the parentheses. Inside it, we need to write the name of the columns over here. That what columns we need over here. So let's say we need student roll number. Student roll number will work as a primary key. Talking about primary key is a unique key. That means it is a kind of a key that if it is assigned to you, it cannot be assigned to anyone else. So imagine I'm in a school, okay, and my roll number is 5. So let's consider a case over here that I'm in a school and my roll number is 5. Okay, so in the database of the school, it is written that on number 5, it is my name. Now what it's going to do, so now let's say I decided to change my school and I'm shifting to some other school, okay. So generally what happens, whoever student is there on number 6 roll number, they get shifted to number 5, right? But with primary key, this does not happen, okay. With primary key, like 5 was my roll number, so it will always remain mine. Even if I am not there in that school, still it will always remain mine. So primary key is a unique key. That means only you can have it. It doesn't matter if you are there or not. That means your data is there or it has been deleted. But that primary key cannot be assigned to anyone else. So what I'll be doing, I'll be considering the roll numbers of the students as the primary key. So I'll be writing over here student roll number. And it is going to be in an integer, which I am defining as a primary key. That it is a primary key and it will automatically increase. So suppose our first data would be number 1, then automatically the second data would be number 2. That means we don't have to assign these value, or it will auto increase. So I'll be writing auto increment. I'll put a comma over here. Next thing after roll number, what we want the student name. So I'll be writing student name. Student name will be a variable character. So varchar 255. I close the bracket, not null. That means we'll not leave it empty. Comma. Again, after student name, we need the student's grade. That means in which class they are. So, student class. And class can be an integer, like they are in 6th grade, 5th grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, or it can be in variables as well. So, let's keep it string as well, so that we will be able to write 6th, 5th, 4th like this. So, I'll be keeping it again varchar, not null. Student email also we can keep. So, I'll be writing student email. Again, it's a varchar 255, not null. And lastly, I'm going to keep student's phone number. So, student phone number. Okay. And it will be in integers. So, I'll be writing integer over here. And again, not null. I have created student roll number integer as a primary key, which will auto increase. Then after that, student name, which is a varchar. Student class, again varchar. Student email, again varchar, and student phone number, that is an integer over here. Okay. Lastly, what I need to do, I need to execute this function. That means I have created this table, but I need to execute it as well, right? So to execute it, what we will be doing, we will be writing over here cursor dot execute. And what we have to execute, this student we have to execute. This table over here, student, this we have to execute. So if I write student over here, and lastly, just like how we have started the connection, if I close the connection over here by writing connection dot close, then it will be closed. Now let's run and see what will happen over here. So if I run it, nothing happens over here, but at the same time, if I open it, you can see we have our DB name is student data.db, and we have received a student data.db. If I open it, it looks like it actually looks like this, which you don't think is a file, but I'll be showing it to you with the help of our DB browser. We will be learning how to install a DB browser in the next session. As of now, just see that this file has been created. If I come back over here and try to run it again, it will throw me an error. Why it is throwing me an error over here? It is telling me that this file, the student file, already exists. So sometimes there might be a case that some file already exists, right? In that case, to avoid this error to happen, what we can do, we can write over here create table if not exists. That means when do we have to create a table? If it does not exist. If it exists, then we don't have to do anything. Nothing new will happen. But if it does not exist, in that condition, we have to create a table. So this is what this first line means, that create table if not exist. That means if it does not exist already, then create this table student in which all these columns are there. Lastly, we will execute this function over here, and lastly here we will execute the function and then close the connection with our DB. So this is how our table is created. This is how we can connect with the database and create a table over there. Now if I run it as well, so you see nothing will happen over here. Now it's not throwing any error anymore. So guys, this was how to create a database and how to connect it. I hope you have no doubts and no questions. With the help of SQLite, you can create many projects. I have some examples of some projects over here that you can create using SQLite. We have e-ticket booking system, library management system can be created, customer order management system, registration system, payroll management system. That means if you're working in a company, then the payroll system or the employee or a system that manages the employee data, or a bank database display system, or a report card management system inside a school. These kind of systems, many systems can be created with the help of SQLite. So I hope you guys have no doubts and no questions. In the next session, we will be discussing how we can install DB browser for our SQLite. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.